So we have all of these great human characters. A lot of them are damaged. I mean, they're all damaged in some degree or another. Some more than most. I mean, clearly the Reese boys are very damaged. Allison is damaged in a different way. John has his own kind of damage, but he hasn't been experiencing war for decades, so he's not as damaged as they are in that respect. We have Weaver, who, and Cameron, and we have absolutely no idea how often or how much they traveled through time before they ended up where we are at now. Uh, Cameron implied that she had traveled through time more than a few. Weaver, in order to make her story made sense, I kind of made it so that she had to travel a couple of times as well. And so we have that. And then in the past, we have Sarah coping or not coping with her cancer, Alejandra coping with Sarah, Allison and Aldridge coping with Sarah. Everybody's coping with Sarah. Um, but it's also how Allison and Murch and Savannah and Aldridge cope with John Henry. And also how Kaliba is interfering with all of this. And what kind of advancements are they making? You know, what difference does the game of Go make in any of this? They're, you know, yes, I'm going to mention that because it does matter at this point. Clearly, I brought it up 2 or 3 times now. Clearly, it matters. So, again, it's all about characters and how they deal with all of these bricks that I'm throwing their way. Are they dodging them? Are they getting hit in the head? Are they just getting grazed? Are they getting shot with 5 bullets? You know, and getting an infection afterwards. There is a lot that goes on in these stories that may seem a little trivial sometimes, but it all matters. Especially, like I said, an episode like Trail Mix, is that it was really the last of my significantly setup-oriented episodes. Had I had more episodes, time to write more episodes, had I had another 10 episodes or so, I would have stretched some of these revelations out. I wouldn't have jammed them all into one episode. But I'm running out of time, as I've said before. I have a lot to do. So I had to move it along. Fortunately, it didn't break the structure of everything that I had to do. And hopefully it didn't come off as too scrambled. Hard for me to tell. Something seemed odd. I think I fixed them. So at this point, well, I mean, let's face it, where did the episode end? It did not end with Allison dying. It ended with one more chip coming off that vault. Yep. That is likely going to be where we're headed. One door closes, another door opens, as it were. Won't that be interesting? I wonder what's in the vault. We know what was in the vault. I wonder what's in the vault now. Again, could be very interesting. Especially it depends who finds the stuff. Okay, I've been here for quite a while, so I really should wrap this up. It's amazing how long I can talk with only 5 talking points. And yeah, see, my talking points, in case you were wondering, I wrote down over here. See, what I covered up was just a note to myself on a different topic. that was it. Uh, you may have noticed that the last talking point I wrote down was Allison equals River. That was to remind me of Allison being kind of fragile, because when she did her little, when Derek asked her, are you okay? And she kind of has to struggle to say no, and basically, that sort of deal. When I wrote it, it was a very River moment. River Tam from Firefly. That was intentional, uh, because in that moment, she is that damaged girl, just for a moment. But she comes out of it again. She becomes Allison again. Because there's more stuff that happened to her in the past than just getting tortured by a gray commanding endos back in Lancaster. So it isn't just that one incident. She has a lot to overcome. You think Derek is damaged? No. Allison is really damaged. But she's figured out ways of dealing with it. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this. Obviously, I'm going to have another writer's room later, because you can't stop me from writing about this. I have to tell you, one of the things that is kind of irking me at this moment is that I want to start writing reviews. I got so used to writing reviews on Terminator that I want to write reviews about these scripts. But I can't, because I share the same bed with the writer, after all. I wear the writer's clothes. So I'm a little too close to the story. But I would love to write reviews about these. Catch myself in continuity gaffes. See if I would review it as critically as I'm trying to write them. Because as I'm writing them, part of what's going through my head is, oh my God, my cyborg zombies are going to be reading this and checking me for every little bit of continuity. I need to double check myself. And so I go back to episodes, season 1, season 2, past scripts that I've written. And yeah, I have all of these notes. I have my wiki that I've told you about before. And it still isn't enough. You have to sometimes go back to the canon, which are the filmed episodes, and for me are the written scripts. Once they're written, they're canon for the most part. Since I have the opportunity to tweak them sometimes, if I've left something off, I'll tweak them. I've only done that twice. One when I changed John's age, and once when I made clear that it was a human male voice talking to the endos in Allison's past, and not just a synthetic male voice. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I had thought about that when I was polishing the script. I forgot to put it in. My bad. And yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm getting so excited about the story. I know where it's going. I really wish that this was for real and not just pretend, because this would be so cool to see on screen. But this will do. It's not too bad.